You're watching Suck Professor. Hello, everybody. It's me, Hank. I'm joined by James, otherwise known as Welcome to the show, everybody. Welcome to the channel. Part 3 of Twin Peaks: The Return, Season 3, shot-by-shot breakdown. We're going to spoil the hell out of this thing. We got screenshots galore to go through. This was...
I think this episode's title was What the Hell?
What the Hell? David Lynch himself bringing back his titular role of the What the Hell guy. Holy crap, what the hell did we just watch, literally? Like, what happened? What was that all about?
An acid trip. I don't know. We'll get into it, though. I have some theories on what's going on.
Okay.
They're probably wrong, but I have theories.
Yeah, not a ton of plot advancement other than the Agent Cooper going, finally making his way out of where he was before. But, all right, so this is so weird. I don't know if I'm confused or insulted, to be honest. It feels very strange watching this show.
I would be worried if you weren't confused watching David Lynch.
Yes.
I think there's definitely people out there, especially in the comment section that we've been getting, who understand this far better than we do because they've been immersed in it far longer than we have and they understand the nuances better. But anyone who comes out and says of this new season that they completely understand everything that's going on and perhaps we're fake fans because we don't know everything.
Yeah.
You're full of crap.
Okay, fair enough. All right, good. Yes.
But no one that's commenting is. Yeah. I'm not accusing anyone of that.
Well, except for the asshole who said it.
He was kind of funny though.
But it is. I mean, it's weird to be like, of all the shows to expect purity, like of every, like if people have different levels of confusion or misunderstanding or just being plain old straight up perplexed, to think that like you have to. Someone else doesn't match your level of understanding. Yeah. It's like this is the one thing that is the least understandable thing ever in history of the world, except for dating.
Yes, not knowing is all the fun. That's why I liked Lost up until the last season. That's why I love mystery shows. That's why I read about mystery crap all the time. That's why, despite being a total piece of crap show, I like The Curse of Oak Island, because it's stupid.
Didn't expect the Curse of Oak Island reference.
It's so dumb, but I loved it.
Well, a great way to not know any show and love it is not watch it at all.
Yes.
Yeah, so, all right. Well, anyway, we've gotten that out of the way. Let's just get into it. So, like, subscribe, but, be part of your community, blah, blah, blah. You all know the drill. Okay, here we go. Okay, so opening shot, of course... Well, Laura, this is such 8th grade special effects. Like, this is 90s 8th grade special effects, too. So, okay, there she is. We got the thing. Boom, boom, doo, boo, boo. Twin Peaks, we get it. All right, back. Now the episode starts. Brave Agent Cooper is really traumatized here. Look at that face. That's the face of a man panicking. He's flying through space.
It's almost like space, but they constantly, play the sound of wind whipping, and the captions show wind whipping. There's no wind in space, so it's like this pseudo space.
Sure, yeah. I mean, there's no sound in space either, unless you're inside something that has an atmosphere. So, yeah. I mean, all right, fine. But I get it. Wind is a great way to create the sense of. Whoosh,
but he is basically lost between dimensions at this point. He is in the furthest reaches of the lodge that we have yet seen.
If he's even in the lodge anymore. I mean, who knows? I think this is some sort of transit.
He's in the cracks between the cracks. Who knows?
Yes, the cracks between the cracks. Oh man, I'm going to leave that. I'm not going to touch that one with a 10-foot turd. All right, so now all of a sudden we cut to something that looks like a real special effect.
This kind of reminds me of the old school effects they did for Star Trek when they would have literally an aquarium and they would like put dye and stuff into it and it would disperse and they would superimpose that behind the Star Trek Enterprise. Yeah. Sort of like practical liquid effects.
Yeah, it creates kind of a nebula looking kind of thing. But this was sort of a fast moving, then it cuts to him, but it's kind of like a billowing milk inside a dyed water or color changed after in post or something. So anyway, okay, so then there's a face again. We see this weird structure here, and I missed it. It happened real quick. So just imagine a man falling. So he comes down and it goes and thud. And this had an odd. So then there's waves, and so he's facing some big ocean. He's in some kind of weird building structure.
Eerily calming about that ocean scene, though. I could stare at that for hours.
Oh, totally. Like I could easily see living right here and just having a good time. You put your feet up, you get your your David Bowie radio out, and you just smoke a doob and talk about Game of Thrones.
Speaking of David Bowie, did you see the correction I had to make in the comments?
Yeah. What was that? That was a bunch of
Philip Jeffries. The reference to the voice in the radio in the prior episode. Philip Jeffries was the character portrayed in Fire Walk with Me by David Bowie. Okay. He was an FBI agent who apparently was in the Black Lodge lodge, or was in the lodge, and came back sort of mad, and then disappeared at random while he was inside the FBI headquarters.
Oh, okay. Wow.
So now he's kind of sort of back, which explains why he knows about Bob, why he knows about the lodge, and so forth. This is one of these weird callbacks to an somewhat obscure character.
It'd be a shocker if we got any more David Bowie out of this, though. If like they filmed it before he died.
That would be. I mean, there's a couple of people in the show who filmed and are now currently dead.
Do your best David Bowie impression. I'll do mine. Hello, David Bowie. All right. I didn't say it was good. So anyway, what this scene reminded me though was of Inception for some reason, like almost like the big nondescript buildings along a shoreline that kind of exist only to make a point. What
I was kind of thinking though is I was thinking, would it be cool if there was remnants of airplanes bobbing on the surface of the water? This is what the Bermuda Triangle is. This is this weird dimension that you can enter into and be lost into, or something.
That would be cool.
Kind of cliche, but that's where my mind was going.
That's 60% cool, 40% evil. Yeah. Because you'd want a whole bunch of people to die.
Well, not die.
People go on vacation, and you just want them to die so you could have an airplane bobbing around in the water.
I want a cruise ship filled with skeletons.
You're like a god's baby, and you're treating the ocean like your bathtub, and you're treating airplanes like rubber duckies. Mm-hmm. All right, or your dad's cell phone, which is always fun. That's always a good moment in Dad's life when his kid, knocks his phone into a toilet. Okay, so there's the guy. He kind of finds this door thing, and
it's a window.
Cracks it open. Well, it's okay, fine. Door, well, it has hinges, so let's call it a both. No, some windows have hinges.
Winddoor.
Unhinged. Winddoor. Thank you. And then all of a sudden we meet new character. Is this Olivia Munn without her makeup?
No.
No. But what the fuck? I mean, we're gonna see her a lot here. I think we get some other shots that are maybe closer on her face because it's It's like it's tissue, right? At first, I thought they were bandages taped over, just on the first kind of cut.
The first time I saw her face flash on the screen, I was thinking it was like a plastic doll that was partially melted.
That's a good way to put it. It's hard to tell with these dark. It's almost like they look like they're stitched.
Yeah, like stitches or scar tissue of sorts.
But gaps, and maybe she's undergoing surgical procedures to cover her eyes or remove. I don't know. It's all weird. So this whole sequence was freaking nuts. And if you haven't seen it, which I assume most people have, though. But there's this whole stuttery, skipping frames, backing up a couple of frames here and there, jitteriness to this whole room. Yeah. The whole way she moves around, even him. And she's making weird, grunty, kind of breathy noises. The whole
it's sort of like that visual style from Saving Private Ryan, the D-Day beach invasion, where after the shell hits and you can't hear anything, it's like that stuttering sort of, very low frame rate style of filmmaking. Yeah,
that's yes, I agree. I see what you're getting.
But this takes it to an extreme where it goes in forward and in reverse. It almost seemed to me, and this is kind of going out there though, as though she's in some sort of synchronization of her own universe, and Cooper is outside of it, and they're trying to sync up as they connect with one another.
So what we're witnessing is the grinding between two universes that don't quite sync up a little bit.
Yeah, because at points they sync up and they start moving at the same speed and it stops. But then they kind of get out of sync again and they start jittering around again. So it's kind of an on and off type of... It's.
I never thought. It never seemed to me like they were really syncing any. It's not like they were both acting at different rates. It just seems like the whole place was. No, I don't know. It's hard to. Who knows? I mean, I hear you though. I don't. Yeah,
it's weird.
Sorry to disagree. It's very weird. Let's go with fucked up. It's pretty fucked up. Yeah, my other thought I had about this was maybe this is David Lynch playing with, because he had to innovate, quote unquote, the thing with the backwards talking. Let's come up with a way to do a weird audio trick with the sound, and then that'll kind of reverse the film too, and that'll sort of define this locale. This is a separate locale. Why am I saying the word locale? What am I, French? But he wanted to come up with another way of sort of separating it, but also in a weird, this is like an evolution of that, not necessarily a better. Evolution doesn't have a positive or negative connotation, by the way. People mistake that all the time, as if evolution goes off better or worse. It just means it's changing over time. But yeah, so
this kind of feels to me like Dante's Inferno. This is the 7 layers of hell that he's going through, that he's going from the bizarre lobby, which is like the waiting room, and he's falling downwards and hitting these different realities within realities that become progressively more and more bizarre.
Yeah, he ends up, we'll see where he ends up, which is the most bizarre place of all, a casino.
Spoiler.
Yeah, I know, it's okay. Everybody's already seen it all. So they're yeah, but she reaches out for him, and she's kind of tries to communicate. And
It's almost like someone who can't see, someone without eyes would relate more to the sense of touch, which she seems to relate to. She constantly wants to make contact with him.
Yeah, that's true. Plus,
so it makes you wonder, how does she get there? Is she a human being? Is she trapped there? Is she a doppelganger? Was she born in the lodge? Who knows?
I don't know. I mean, there's those.
What's her story?
Yeah. Well, maybe I smell spin-off, Maybe someday we'll just do the tissue flesh eyes woman with the fucked up mobility.
So the thing is, she doesn't really speak. She makes these weird breathing sounds.
Yeah, let's see.
So Cooper comes right out and says, "What is this? Where are we?" He speaks out loud. And right about the time that he speaks out loud, we start getting these like very loud bangings against the door.
Well, yeah, those are coming up here. That's still in a little while.
As though he's drawn attention to something that's used to silence.
Oh, right. Okay, I see what you're saying. Like something outside the thing is detecting that there's a new presence.
Right, and the woman here is clearly afraid.
Reflection or holes?
I honestly don't know.
Like a dent, so that it's just catching the light, or is those holes inside? It's like,
and she's making a motion to be quiet because she's definitely afraid of whatever it is that's banging out there. So is this the thing that took her eyes from her? Is this thing that punishes her when she doesn't, keep quiet?
Is she captive? Is she held like a prisoner? Is she Rapunzel? Is she Rumpelstiltskin? Maybe.
Yes.
So yeah, here's another. So yeah, it looks scar tissue. Like it looks like stitched up or something. It's really nuts, but just very Twilight Zone-ish though too. Kind of like the girl watching TV with no mouth.
I was thinking about that too the whole time I was watching this.
Yeah.
Like the little psychic boy who punishes people by conforming the reality to his mindset and his current state of emotions.
Just like you, James.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey James, could you get me $1 million? Ow, my mouth! Oh wait, that wouldn't make any. How could I scream? Okay, so eerie humming. That's okay.
So he's constantly
loud pounding.
looking
Those
back.
are my two favorite sex positions, by the way, James. Eerie hummers and loud pounding. Yeah. Okay, sorry. All right, so what? He's
constantly looking back to something on the wall. It looks like a big electrical outlet or something on the wall that has the number 15 on it, which we'll see a little bit later on.
Yeah, I also indistinct breathy noises to add to that my sex position list. Just kidding. You know what my favorite sexual position is? Gratitude. All right, so 15, and he sees the number 15 on this. This is that weird.
Yeah, and we know numbers are incredibly important. What have we gotten so far? 340, 253, or 235? What was it?
Wasn't it 430?
Yes, 430. Yes,
yeah,
correct.
253, 430, and then we see a 15 here. Yeah, hard to say. We don't know what that's all about, but he's drawn to it. He's kind of a solemn guy. Like he doesn't. This whole time, this dude has no personality. He just sort of looks around. He's just kind of taking things in like he's on some kind of drug that just slows him down or something.
It's like he's been deadened by his experience in the lodge.
But
Agent Cooper was a vivacious...
handsome.
Yeah, he was a very...
smooth skin.
Very outspoken, very energetic, very likable, active personality in the original seasons, and this is not him at all yet. It's like he's been stripped down to his bare minimum. Yeah,
he's sort of an empty vessel, which we'll see a lot more of that later, because he hasn't really had much to interact with other than wandering around the curtain room and talking to those weirdos that talk backwards. All right, so high patch, and then she comes over and she starts making this weird like hand motions, sort of almost violent, almost like she was trying to like cut him, but she wasn't really attacking him.
It reminded me of that white thing that came out and attacked Sam and Teresa. As though she was saying, don't come close to it, not yet, not now.
Okay.
And I'll get more to that a little bit later, of why I think that.
Okay, fair enough. All right, so and then she leads him over to this ladder here and climbs up. There's a hatch, pops it open, and boom, we're in space. All of a sudden, it's fucking crazy space time here. And she climbs out, empty room, empty box. So the whole water world with the thing and the balcony and then the window things, all that was contained inside this room, or is this a separate? Is this an exit to a different dimension?
I can only guess she's a Time Lord, and that's her TARDIS.
Her TARDIS, yeah, you got to say that word carefully. This also made me think of I think I said this last time, but like kind of like Time Bandits or Baron Munchausen, sort of fantastical people or locations and people, creatures, and where they're sort of lost in the gods, lost in the mythology, lost in the things that just kind of, and they don't actually try to explain it too much. And this one, they don't explain shit.
It's almost like a weird, bizarre, interdimensional point and click adventure game or something.
It did make me think a little bit like Myst.
Yeah, that's what
Almost.
I was getting to.
Like
yeah.
you're kind of just in this...
Like, what the heck is going on?
A world that's offering you no favors, but you can just get a couple clues from around you. So anyway...
And we both mentioned when we were watching this that this thing sort of very vaguely resembles the shape of a camera, maybe.
Oh yeah, okay. Maybe like like it's got, this would be the eye part, the lens.
Yeah, but I was thinking, is that a boiler?
It's a box.
Is the boiler that's banging? Is there something on the door that's banging?
Well, and it has these sort of fuel gauges, which I can advance a little bit.
Yeah, like
there.
there's pressure inside trying to escape.
Or that's a liquid meter of some kind of gas tank thing or something. It's some sort of gauge, and. So is there obviously some kind of... There's a fireplace inside, so there's exhaust, but there's no exhaust coming out of this. I mean, we can try to really break it all down or whatever, but I don't know. It was just so weird. I don't know. I bet David Lynch can't explain this crap either. No. He's probably just as confused as we are.
He's like, I like the idea of a paycheck.
I lost the keys to my Bentley. Good thing I have my other Bentley. So there he goes. Yeah, there she goes, and he's kind of the lighting, and then so there's this big switch thing here, which is, I always like these big old switches.
And don't let me forget that she does that, because I've got a theory about that.
Also, this is reminiscent of where he ends up.
Exactly what I want to get to.
Oh, okay, all right. So yeah, it's pull the handle and roll the dice on whatever the hell goes on here. But okay, so then.
And also, I mean, that thing that he's holding right now is kind of reminiscent of an oil derrick.
In a way, yeah, or a radio tower.
But what could that... radio. And there is a mention to a radio later on in here at the police department.
Yeah.
Or, I'm sorry, the FBI headquarters. So, coincidence?
I don't know. Coincidence? Maybe not. Quinky dink? Definitely. Yeah, it's lever clanks.
And she poorly tries to act like she's being electrocuted, yet manages to remove her hand from the device and reposition it.
Because being electrocuted, you kind of lock into place.
Kind of, yeah. Your muscles tense up. You don't move a whole lot aside from, muscle contractions. But
you move down towards the earth when and the guys on cops are going, get down on the ground. I'm trying. I'm electrocuted.
I didn't buy this interpretation of electrocution.
No. Okay, fine. Well, let's write a letter. We'll start up a campaign here. And,
she has no idea how to be electrocuted.
That's nicely done. She can't see the... kill me. And then she gets bumped off. It just sort of pushes her. Whoop, whoop, off she goes.
Pulls a Laura Palmer and flies off and away. A reverse Superman.
Yeah. Yeah. This is a. I'd give this an 8.5.
Would be great if Superman took off like that.
Just backwards.
Like a diver going off a boat.
But he went real slow and annoying, and he had to get naked into his Speedo. Yeah, we don't know what kind of splash she makes, because he goes, oh shit, oh fuck, and again, off she goes.
Yeah, as she's falling, you see the dress flapping, you hear the dress flapping, you hear the wind sounds. This is not your typical space.
No. I do like that you kind of are applying some standard to them, grounded in reality, which is that you wouldn't have the dress flapping, you wouldn't have space. Well, the dress would be moving around because your limbs could move around. Yeah, it's not impossible that a dress would move around in space.
They're not in space, they're in dimensional space. Something like that. Something we're not familiar with.
Yes. I'm just saying, though, that of all the nutty leaps of... all the leaps of logic, suspend your disbelief that this show asks you to make. A dress flapping because a woman's falling through space.
I can say, how are they breathing?
Yeah, you could, you could say all kinds of stuff. But yeah, so she's fine. I mean, maybe she breathes through her eyes, and because her eyes are closed, she's fine. I don't know what I'm saying. Okay, so he's like, oh boy, that's no, all right. But he doesn't even react that much. Off she goes, and then we have a face hovers in the shot. So James, of course, has nothing to say about this guy.
No, I absolutely do.
Well, I mean, about whether or not it's okay for space to have
I mean, we know those are floating
partially opaque, blended faces flying, and blending is a graphic design.
This is Major Garland Briggs, who was a character in Season 1 and Season 2.
Okay.
He was a military army guy. And we heard from the prior episode that the voice on the other side of the radio, which we thought was Philip Jeffries, told Dark Cooper that he knew that Dark Cooper met with Briggs.
Yeah.
And he said, how did you know that? The other thing is that as an FBI term, apparently Blue Rose is code word for like a strange happening, like a paranormal event.
Oh, is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Something like that.
Good.
So we see this character.
Good God, Scully! I see a blue rose.
Yeah, and the actor who portrays this guy actually died many years ago.
Oh,
but they're bringing back his likeness for the purposes of this show.
They dug up his corpse and photographed his face. Is that how that worked?
Well, sure, why not?
Yeah, why not? Maybe they had a photo. All right. He said, "Oh, look, he's got a long ass thing going on above his lip." That reminds me
But
of something.
it's also important to note that there's a character who may or may not return. I'm not quite sure. Bobby, who was a love interest for a lot of the women in the show, who Briggs was his father.
Briggs was the father of Bobby.
Yeah.
All right. I wish I was a love interest for a lot of women.
I mean, you saw him in we watched a little kind of a recap of Fire Walk with Me. He was the weird guy in the jean jacket, kind of walking backwards with the black hair. The guy who thought he was so cool.
Okay. Yeah, I guess. I vaguely remember. The weird guy is all you have to say about any character.
Yeah, that doesn't really narrow it down here.
So, okay, Hatch clanks. He goes back in. And now the numbers changed,
Yeah,
though.
it went from 15 to 3.
Right. So
what does that mean?
315?
The only other number that we know of that has a 3 in it is 253.
And 430.
And you pointed out the meaning of 253, which is something that the arm says in the last episode. The arm being that weird brain tree thing.
Yes.
Which we now know what that is thanks to the amazing intellect of someone in the comments.
Oh, yeah. Give it a shout out.
In the original series, there was, and I try and use the correct term whenever this comes up, there was a little person. His name was Michael J. Anderson. He was phenomenal in the HBO series Carnival, but he's also been in a lot of the David Lynch's projects over the years.
Okay.
You would recognize him if you saw him.
Sure.
But he would appear in the lodge, in the waiting room, in a red suit, and he would just like eerily speak backwards and start dancing around while smiling.
Okay.
Very, very weird imagery. But at some point, apparently, according to the geniuses in the comments, and I give them full credit for this if this is true, so in reference to this character portrayed by Michael J. Anderson, the person commenting who had all the answers that was really, really, really helpful to us was Ryan Brandos.
Thanks, Ryan Brandos.
Yeah.
Shout out to you, buddy. 10 and 2, drive safe.
He mentioned that in the prior seasons that this character portrayed by Michael J. Anderson was referred to as the Arm. And that the arm was supposed to be Mike's arm that he cuts off in like corporeal human form, which he was a little person, which means that he was the arm, and due to some sort of contract negotiation failure, some sort of personal squabble with David Lynch, he didn't return as an actor for season 3.
Okay.
So his representation then became this weird tree creature.
So they replaced the little person who is known as the Arm with the evolution of the Arm.
Yes, the new form of him. And he's even said at the end of like the season 2 that one of the last things you hear him say is that the next time you see me, I won't be me.
Okay.
Or something like that. So it kind of fits.
Yeah, they nailed it by putting a possum corpse on top of a tree. Yeah.
Well, you know.
All right, so that's good. So, all right, cool. Thanks, Ryan. That's a good.
That was a really interesting.
Way to hit a home run there, buddy. All right, so the 3, I don't know, the 315. You know, but then there's another person back. We think it's the same lady or something, same at least red shirt, but it's not. It's a different. Maybe it is the same. I don't know. Her eyes are back, but different hair.
Not the same person. No.
Not the same person. So then she has this watch, 2:52:59 seconds.
And the tree tells us in the prior episode 253.
Yes.
And then he says time and time again.
Time and time again. Right.
Which you pointed out kind of what that means.
I did?
Kind of. We know from the prior episode that the evil Coop is going to be pulled back into the Black Lodge sometime, presumably today.
Yeah, the Bobbleganger.
Yes, the Doppelganger.
Yeah.
And we know that the tree was saying time and time again 253, and the time is now 252, which is 1 minute away from 253.
Well, it's 59 seconds at the bottom. You can see it in the So because it did switch to 253 at the we just saw the screenshot. So I pointed that out, but I didn't say anything about the time and time again thing.
Well, I mean, it was kind of the same vein, but you kind of noted that was the number, and something is supposed to happen right at this time.
Yes, don't give me too much credit for that. All I did was recognize that 253 is the same number as 253. That's not a leap of. That's not some great intellect going on there.
Yeah, but this is apparently the expiration time for how long someone can exist outside of the lodge.
Yeah.
Do you think it's 250 because the first two numbers being 25, the maximum length of time in years that you can spend outside of the lodge before it sucks you back in?
No, I think that sounds like
bullshit. Do you think that the 3 remains on the device on the wall because when you take the 2 and the 5 away for 25 years, all you're left with is the 3?
Now you're making sense.
No, I'm not.
I don't know. Maybe. Well, I like this little light down here. I never noticed that. That's pretty cool. There's a big emphasis in this episode on electricity, though. A lot of things happen with sockets and with
even the
plug
logo
thing.
at the very beginning of the episode for the production company for you see her electrical crackling, and the title even says electrical crackling.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's right. So then she turns around. I don't think she has anything to say, though, right?
No, she eventually does say something.
Oh, she does? Okay. So there's this big, crazy power plug thing with the 3 now, and we kind of...
and that's kind of why I thought that when he being Cooper, was initially approaching it, she was like waving her arms like, no, because she's saying it's not time yet. It's not 2:53.
Oh.
And we know from the prior episode that in order for Cooper to leave the lodge, he, the doppelganger, has to come back in first.
Right, they can't...
So if he had tried to leave at that point, maybe he would have been destroyed.
It's not like hockey where the guys can be trading spots on their shift rotation,
right?
But they can both be on the ice at the same time.
In a way, maybe she was protecting him.
Maybe, yeah, maybe that was. I also was wondering too. Just back up a little bit to the woman when she hit the thing and she got launched into space. Mm-hmm. Maybe she did that on purpose because that was her escape. She couldn't leave until there was like a replacement. And
Possibly.
She used him. She's like, oh, it's like if you get stuck being a security guard, or you get like stuck holding the door at the mall or something, and suddenly you work at the mall for no reason.
Or Indiana Jones in the Last Crusade. You know, the you chose poorly.
Oh, yeah.
He was the last Knight Templar that stood there watching over the chalice.
Yeah, he couldn't die because no one was there to replace him.
He was waiting for someone to come and take his place.
Yeah, yeah. You think that when Eka goes to Redbox, now he's got a job at Redbox, and he just sits there and goes, "You have chosen Jason Bourne. You have chosen poorly. That movie fucking sucked. Watch it on HBO."
Nowadays with Redbox, that's the only really thing you have to say. There is no wise choices from Redbox.
Unless you order the Grail at the Redbox. That's the only one that he would approve. The search for the Holy Grail is the only one that he would approve of you. Okay, we're getting off to the weeds here.
So now,
the
last time we had an interaction with this character being Evil
Spray Tan Bob.
Yes, it was Spray Tan Bob. Last time we heard from him, he was making plans to find coordinates to get information from the secretary of Bill Hastings.
He killed Daria,
and he wanted to go and get Ray, who was currently in prison in Yankton Federal Penitentiary
in South Dakota. But before I want to move on the screenshot. So this is 2:53 though on the clock.
Yes. Yeah. But he also said that he was aware that he was going to be pulled back into the lodge, but he had plans to prevent that.
Yes, he seems to be trying to buck the system.
And he was trying to put Chantel and her husband in a certain position at a certain time. So he had a big, extravagant plan that he wanted to orchestrate to prevent his return.
He is up to no good with his nefarious means and ways. So then we get this shot here. Didn't know what it was right away, but it's a cigarette lighter, so they're just going for whatever the hell's around them. They film it. Hey, found the lighter. Tense, ominous music. That's another one of my favorite sex moves. And he's kind of drawn to this thing. Okay, so then she's finally, when you get there, already.
She said, when you get there, you will already be there. Meaning that when you return to your world, your physical corporeal form will already be there because your doppelganger will have been there.
So she's talking about the doppelganger.
I believe so.
Not like you've been somewhere you've already been.
She might mean that too. Time warping is a big thing here, but I interpret it as though you'll already have been there because your doppelganger...
Not even been there, be there. It's like you'll run into yourself, basically. Like,
possibly,
which definitely...
But it shouldn't be the case because your doppelganger is supposed to come back in order for you to go out.
True.
So maybe the empty husk of your doppelganger will be out there.
Okay, could be. Yeah, all right. Maybe he'll just have a yearbook photo or something. All right, so intense electrical hiss, and he starts getting sucked in, and his, some of these goofy special effects. The power outlet thing starts going off. This guy's having like headaches and sort of struggling. As sort of feels the world collapsing in, or maybe not collapsing, but something's going on with him physically. The car starts to swerve around a little bit. She's going, you better hurry. My mother's. Do you have any idea what this mother business is?
I'm guessing the banging on the door is her mother.
Oh, okay. That could be it.
But what that means beyond that, I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, it's probably a ficus wearing a pineapple on its head or something. Or it's probably like okay. So electricity sputtering, boom, boom. Oh, my head. Silly special effects are so funny. We all know what's about to happen, though. Of course, he doesn't resist. He doesn't seem to panic. He just gets sucked right through.
Pretty hilarious shot. And
right.
Shoes get yanked off.
And nope, shoes fall down. Nope. This is a lot like this is an obvious homage to T2 when the guy, the actor, what's his name with the blonde hair, the robot turns into liquid to go through the metal bars, but the gun won't go, so there's a turn the gun.
Justin
Bieber, thank you. Yes, no, you know what I'm talking. It's a T2. Yeah. What's that guy's name? He was in a bunch. He plays a cop. He's always
I can see his face in my mind clear as a bell, but I can't pull his name out of my head.
Anyway, okay, so there it is. 3. Okay, back to the road. So we're cutting back and forth between this is going on here. His cigarette lighter is giving him the business, and he's having a hard time. He's going, motherfucker. This is like me when when you don't plan your toilet habits and you're out on a long road drive and you're like, oh shit, the bomb doors are already open. How am I gonna deal with this?
Sometimes it feels out of the desert,
Well, if you're in the desert, sure. You ever done that? Just pulled over and gone for it?
Nope.
Pee or something?
Never.
Never. I've had some close calls. I definitely have. I've never peed no, not
even in the carpool lane on the I-95.
Nope. And ironically, it's the pool. It would pool. That's so stupid. Why the hell is okay? So, crash. We have a budget. We're actually spending money on an effect, James. This is pretty exciting. So they actually ran a car up a hill, real quick. Put a camera on it. Let's see if we can spot the camera. Sometimes that's fun. Boom. Take that car. And I did like that they just let it roll up and then they just let it roll down.
Yep.
That was kind of a cool way of crashing because it gets back to the road. But that'll fuck up a car. That's not a good day calling the insurance company after that one. So there's the cigarette lighter, of course.
Still crackling, still scratching.
It's ready for more. It wants him. It stares at him. Obviously, like electricity is important here, clearly, but it's sort of like the intergalactic connected network. Like electricity is what links it all together, maybe. And this is it, like almost. And actually, electricity does sort of work that way. It finds the shortest route through what it can travel. So like
path of least
that's
resistance.
why whenever I get struck by lightning, it comes out my dick. All right. Okay, 253. Boom. It starts to move up. Like it was like 252 before.
So at this point, he's gaggy now, and it's almost like he's going to vomit, but he's covering his mouth as if to prevent the event from happening.
Yes. Right. And doesn't seem too hurt other than this part. And then we get kind of this curtain sort of thing comes in on.
Yeah, it's like the lodge is coming for him.
Right. Like he's being the realities are overlapping, and we cut to a different area.
Rancho Rosa.
This looks like a poor man's Michael J. Fox movie.
It's like a new housing development, in construction, or
What am I talking about? Three Pines.
You're thinking of Back to the Future.
Back to the Future, and it's two pines in the next because he runs over a tree. Yeah, that's a trivia from the '90s. Okay, so. We don't, maybe Breaking Bad is being filmed down the street.
We see two cars, a yellow Jeep and another car.
Some other car. And we got nudity. Everybody's favorite. Who doesn't love a good nudity?
Even more confusing is we have Agent Cooper sitting there with a different hairdo.
Yes, we have Moppelganger. That's what that hairdo would do. He's got a mop of hair on him.
And you notice he's smiling the whole time. He has very much reason to be smiling.
I'd be smiling. Look at the great dresser he's got over here. Yeah. Come on. Who doesn't smile when they have furniture? And, she's...
okay.
She's calling him Dougie.
This is where it gets complicated for me.
Oh, God. Here we go.
Okay. And I don't know a great deal about this, and this is where I need to reach out to the wonderful people in the comment section
I'll save you the time. Those are called nipples.
No.
Oh, all right.
Dougie, what is wrong with your arm? His arm goes limp, it gets tingly, and his arm has the owl ring on it. This weird green jade ring, which is featured prominently in Fire Walk With Me.
Okay.
And there's a lot of lore behind the ring and who owned the ring over time, what kind of ramifications come from wearing the ring. It was something that was used. Laura Palmer wore the ring.
And we'll get a better shot of the ring later on.
Yeah, and it was speculated in some parts to be something that she would wear to prevent Bob from entering into her.
Okay.
So that he would kill her.
Good choice of words.
Well, he would kill. I think he inevitably killed her because he couldn't possess her because she was wearing the ring.
Okay.
And I could be wrong about that, but I don't know where the ring comes from. It seems like it's an ancient thing. It's been passed from hand to hand to hand to hand. What exactly it does, what its powers are, what it represents, I'm not completely sure, but I know it's important.
Okay, so real quick, we're assuming she's a prostitute, right? Because she's counting money.
Why would you think that?
Well, she looks
She's an accountant.
She's his accountant. She looks a little out of his range. It's look at that guy. He's not charming a woman like her into free sex. Are you crazy? Here's the ring. We do have a couple more shots later on, but yeah.
So there's no coincidence that his arm is starting to go dull at 2:53 while wearing the ring, and the fact that he is an before unknown second doppelganger to Agent Cooper,
who's just been living in the desert. We know it's Vegas.
Yeah.
Like, so he's been just banging whores, having a fun time.
Here's my misguided, ridiculous theory, and feel free to shoot it down if you want.
Oh, I will. You better watch out, James. I'll shoot it down.
I'm wondering if this is some sort of a rule of doppelgangers. Like, this is the yin and yang, that the evil Cooper represented the dark side of Cooper. All the nefarious evil within him was housed within that shell. And in order to preserve that which was innocent, that which was good in Cooper, someone or something had to construct a second doppelganger to act as a vessel to house the good of Cooper into this shell of Dougie. And they put the ring on him to prevent Bob from infecting him, from taking away that which they were trying to preserve.
That's not a bad theory. I mean,
why else would he exist?
This is as good as any crazy ass theory for this show.
Because he seems innocent. He seems good. He's smiling. He's not in any way evil, and he's clearly connected to Dale Cooper because he's a doppelganger, and he has the ring on for some reason.
Yes, I also just want to say we should legalize prostitution. It's fucking stupid that it's illegal. It's completely crazy. It's consenting adults exchanging a service for money. It would be so much safer and better for everybody if it was legal. So, I'm saying there's no morality, because I can see people saying, well, he's getting a hooker. That means he's not good. Like, no, fuck you. That's fine. It's totally okay.
I was just talking about a ring.
Yeah. I know, but you're saying he's holding he embodies.
I didn't mean prostitution ring.
Yeah, I prefer onion rings myself.
Yes.
He embodies he seems like an innocent guy. Like, this guy doesn't give off an evil whiff.
He's not a danger to the community.
Other than a weird ring. I don't trust men who wear lots of rings. Come on, enough. You can do two, maximum, a wedding ring. And something important from your stupid military or high, whatever the fuck you want.
Stupid military?
I'm just saying, if you have some shit...
How dare you, sir?
Calm down. If you have some fucking shit in your past, it's like, oh, this was the ring I wore when I, beat up a Nazi. All right, great. You got to wear the ring. Cool. More than 2 rings, and you're not coming to my birthday party. Where I give out rings.
Okay, so you notice his arm is still dead.
Yeah.
It's still, being affected by the events that are happening cross-dimensionally at 253.
Yes, something's going on with him. He does not seem to suspect it, nor does he seem too plussed about it.
No, he doesn't quite know what's going on.
Yeah. He's got a beautiful gold jacket. I've always wanted to wear a gold jacket. I don't have the confidence. And look at that hair. There's Dougie. He just got laid. He's cleaned out the pipes. He's feeling pretty good.
And he's starting to feel pretty bad, though. The same time,
life is going pretty good as well.
Yeah, but we know that
Great
evil
dresser.
Cooper in the car is feeling sick. He's trying not to throw up.
Yes.
At the same time, somewhat good doppelganger Coop, or naive, innocent Coop doppelganger, is going through the same physical symptoms.
Yes. The only thing this guy's missing from his life is a pine cone. That would make it better. So, there's evil Coop. Doesn't know what's going on. This guy's having a hard time.
So the lodge is like a vacuum cleaner sucking back in,
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, that's another
bringing the hens back home, or whatever you want to say.
Calling the foxes back to the fox house. So he comes up and he vomits a big old lump. Look at that. That's a tall vomit.
This is important.
How does it not spread out more?
This is super important too, and this is super important because of something Vesuvi said.
What do you think he just ate? Wink?
That's important though, because
it is.
in Fire Walk with Me,
there
is a substance called, and I'm going to mispronounce this, but it's called garmembosia or garmembosa. And apparently, and I'm reading this from the Wikipedia thing or something like that, so I don't misstate anything, but it says, garmembosia refers to pain and sorrow. Bob and possibly Mike or other inhabitants of the lodge feed on garmembosia, as it is mentioned by Mike, Bob, and Trimmins, and the man from another place. Apparently, it's some sort of substance that's created from pain and suffering, which is why Bob inhabits people and have them commit horrible deeds. He feeds on this substance, as do other spirits from the lodge, but humans can't quite comprehend what it is, so when they're having visions of the lodge, they interpret it as creamed corn.
Oh, all right.
And it's almost like he's expelling this garmembosia, this creamed corn substance, which is the physical embodiment of these spirits, of what makes him a doppelganger. And that, in effect, destroys his corporeal form and pulls him back to his ethereal lodge.
So it's like he's barfing up the packaging, essentially.
Pretty much.
Like a pelt, like an owl. Which I do when I have an egg roll. I just barf up the skin and the wrapper from the sweet and sour sauce, because I don't bother opening it. Yeah, wow, that's fucking crazy. I had no idea there was going to be that much to this disgusting pile of stuff, and I kind of want to apologize for having it on everybody's computer screen this long. This is horrible. I'm very sorry because everybody has a visceral
kind of makes
reaction.
sense though. There's an explanation for it in a sense.
Yeah, I appreciate that. There's that backstory there.
Yeah.
Like I didn't realize George R.R. Martin was one of the writers of this world.
But people did say when we did our first video that you've got to understand Fire Walk with Me, because if you don't, you're not going to understand certain things. And they're right. Yeah. The Ring, you would never understand that. The creamed corn, you would never understand that.
And we saw the creamed corn when someone did it into a spoon.
That was a scene from Fire Walk with Me.
Oh, that was Fire Walk with Me.
Yeah.
Okay, that's right. I get confused with what James and I watch without recording and what was going on in our videos, so that's all right. But then her name is Jade. She's like, uh-oh, Sonic Pop.
That's how she farts in the shower.
Yeah. That's it. You fart in the shower, James?
Oh, against the wall to add to the reverb.
You know what? About every 2 or 3 years, I go through a phase where I pee in the shower, and it takes me about 3 weeks to stop peeing in the shower. I mean, not one long to pee.
I mean, I was about to be very impressed.
Yeah.
That's one for the Guinness
That's quite a lot. Yeah, no, but I just like, oh, pee, and then I get used to it, and then I start doing it. But I haven't been doing that for a while.
As long as you don't do it in the living room, I'm cool with it.
Okay, fair enough. that's sold. It is feel good to pee in the shower. Go give it a try, everybody. All right, so then, what's going on with him? He's also
and there goes his cream corn.
We've got a Play-Doh factory going on here. Oh man, what a mess. How many takes do you think they did with this shot? I bet they just did one.
Hopefully one.
Now, do you think he's got something pumping up through his arm?
I would hope so.
Because it was really coming out of that.
Yeah.
Because whenever they do puke in shows and movies, you can always tell it's like just enough that a guy could hold in his mouth for a little while.
Or it's like a tube running up your arm and you're acting like you're expelling it, but it's like this comical spray.
Well, there's cutaways. They always fix it with editing. You cut away, you keep the splashing noise going, then you refill the guy's mouth. And I mean, you don't edit while you tape it, but you know, so... you do okay. So it looks like a little bit of a face there, doesn't it?
But this is good news for Coop though, because this is happening simultaneously with him being pulled electrically through that outlet.
Yeah.
And the outlet says 3 on it. Could that possibly mean there's 3 Coops?
You never know.
I don't know.
Maybe.
And it's pulling in 2 of the doppelgangers and it's letting free the true Coop.
The true Coop, the original. I don't know. Could be. It's took it out of him though. Look at him. He's tired. He's really tired.
I think he's back in the lodge. I think he's gone.
This is what I look like after I have Del Taco. All right. So suddenly.
So now we know he's back in the lodge.
But he's also looking good. Like his hair's combed, right? Or there's no wrinkles in his suit.
This is Dougie.
This is Dougie. He's wearing a nice little thing. I mean, like his shirt looks like it's in good shape. Is all I'm trying to say. I don't know what that means. But One Arm Man is standing around. Mike, what's he saying? I feel funny. What's happening? He was just
again a very innocent thing for someone to say.
Yeah.
He's not angry. He's not confrontational. He's just like, what's going on?
Just a little confused.
And he says, Mike says, you were manufactured by someone for a purpose, and I think now that purpose is fulfilled.
Okay.
So
by the way, no shoes.
Yes, no shoes. Very good point. But what it makes me think though is that someone was looking out for Agent Cooper.
Yeah.
They were saying that he is trapped in the lodge, and now everything that inherently makes him Cooper is being split off. The evil of Cooper, the doppelganger, the dark side is being let loose into the world. So we need to manufacture a second doppelganger, like I said before, a vessel to house what remains of his goodness.
Yes.
So it's preserved, so it's not destroyed. And it seems like whoever's been watching out for him created this facade, this additional doppelganger for that purpose.
Like a secondary container, or
like an extra Ziploc bag.
Yeah, like when you split up a jar of goobers.
Yeah,
you need one for the peanut butter, one for the jelly.
And
when you put it back, then you send it to your ex-girlfriend with a note made out of magazine numbers that you cut out, and you say, "I still love you. I'm so sorry. I'm healthy now. Please come find me." And then you sprinkle glitter on that, and when the mailman comes to pick it up, you tell him not to tilt it over because the glitter will fall off.
Yes.
Yeah. Right?
And I know I'm kind of repeating myself here again.
Oh, repeat.
I know I hate doing that because it annoys some people and annoys me, but I wanted to kind of hammer home the point that I'm making, even though it's probably wrong, that his purpose is now fulfilled, and that whoever established him, whoever created him, probably put the ring on him to protect him from influence of Bob.
Yeah. And there's the ring.
So now
that's supposed to be an owl?
I think it's from the owl cave, yeah.
Okay.
But now that his purpose is fulfilled, he is no longer needed.
David Lynch is just a weird 8th grade boy who got to live out his dreams. What a lucky guy. Oh, yeah, and his hand starts to get small. That's right.
Because he's shriveling up. He is ceasing to exist.
So he's just fading back into his thing.
Yeah, and his head pops and turns into like this black void.
Yeah, this like foggy smoke monster. Maybe he's related.
Yeah, and Mike shields his eyes because his hand shrinks away. The ring falls off the finger, clinks to the floor. Mike shields himself from it. This weird orb flies out of his neck where he used to be. And he kind of, the head where he used to be turns into what looks like a dark form of the weird fleshy part at the top of the evolution of the arm.
The shaved possum body.
Yeah.
Or something there. And he goes, no, at least he's still got one arm left to do that.
Maybe that's like what someone is at their most base, coarsed form inside the lodge. Maybe that is like the heart of a doppelganger. This is like a doppelganger without their doppelganger skin on, their skin suit.
This is just the weird embodiment of, I don't know why I'm trying to repeat what you just said. So electric goes crackling, but this one goes like, blah, 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 and then another ball, like, what is this, Willy Wonka?
Like a kernel of corn, but who knows? It's like a brass bead or some sort of a...
Yeah, it just looks like a gold fucking Christmas ornament or something. I love that they do so many effects. They just turn a bright light on the actor. And it was just super weird and cheesy, and then like the gold ball falls down, and so that's all that's left of him is the gold ball in the ring. Mm-hmm. So he picks it up, and we scan up, and he picks up the ring and then puts it down, and okay, all right, well, so he's gone forever, served his purpose probably.
And in Fire Walk with Me, Mike actually had the ring for an extended period of time, and I think at one point to protect Laura, he throws the ring at Laura to prevent Bob from getting near her or from taking her over.
Oh, okay.
So he has a history with the ring.
I need one of these rings.
It's a mood ring.
I could protect you with it, James.
Yeah.
All right, so then the cat turd is still left on the thing, and we got an electrical outlet there, and
so
what's going on?
Now that both Coopers have returned to the lodge, or at least one Cooper that we've seen confirmed returned to the lodge and is kind of turned back into his basis form, that means that there's room for Player One to return to the battlefield.
Player One, he's been reloaded. He's ready to go.
He can respawn now.
Yeah, it's true. It's funny. And then Jade's all cleaned up. She's ready to move on with her day, and she comes out and she sees a different guy. Same guy, different guy, though. She's like, what's up with your hair? What the hell's going on here? It's our first what the hell of the episode.
Yeah.
He's back. He looks at her. He doesn't react or say anything and seem to be in too much of a hurry. And she's like, you been wearing a rug, Dougie? And she seems like a really nice person. I like her. She's got a good soul.
Yeah, she's a very likable person.
I'm going to start phoning up Vegas. Ring, ring. Hello, Vegas. I'd like to hook her from whatever show we're watching right now.
She's an accountant. Need to remind you.
She's an accountant. I need someone to help count my money in bed.
But she says...
I don't think I could do a hooker. It's weird. I'm too much of an egomaniac. I need to know that they kind of want to bang me.
I could play Connect 4 with one.
Yeah, well...
That's about it.
Yeah, wow, that's an expensive game of Connect 4.
Yeah.
Or just a really easy one to win. Because let's be honest, if you can afford a $10 hooker, she's not going to be very good at Connect 4. Yeah. Or he. Men can be hookers too.
Go for the bottom, go for the top, go for it, Connect 4. Got 3 in a row, go for one more, go for it, Connect 4.
Wow, go for the bottom, go for the top. Sounds like a...
It's the instruction manual for a hooker.
It just sounds like a great slogan for a brothel.
No, that was actually horrible.
Yeah.
But anyway...
Or a hortel, as we called it the other
day. I had one of those beers the other time on the first episode. I didn't realize it was 11.3% alcohol, and I was a little bit woozy.
Oh.
That's why I said the Great Northern Hortel.
Oh, okay. I didn't even notice.
I was fighting it.
You were fighting off being inebriated. That's fine. That's okay. It's fun. It's the best part of life. All right, so they leave, but he's just sort of like this dead vessel of nothing. He just kind of goes wherever. He's sort of like a puppy that's got PTSD.
Yeah, it's almost
no shoes, and she's like, dude, what the fuck, man? And like he goes inside. She comes back out. He's not there. Could you quit? She's
at this point, he only has the capacity to repeat what has been said to him. He doesn't really comprehend anything. He's like an empty shell, like you said. It's almost as though he needs to recapture his light and dark side, his evil Coop and his Dougie Coop.
Well, there's certainly something missing. This is a jar of goobers with nothing inside.
Yeah, it could be that he's still trying to recover from all this trans-interdimensional travel, or it could be that he's physically missing components of his essence that he needs to reacquire.
I think he's missing because he's kind of like this in the room too. When he was just sitting there in the last 2 episodes with the Laura Palmer kissing him and stuff.
Not necessarily, because in the room he was able to say short sentences. He was able to react to the situation in front of him. He was able to
walk around a little bit.
Yeah, he could ask questions that were related to his current circumstances. He was a thinking intellectual being. Here, he's just like a repeating phrase doofus.
Correct. whoops, wrong way. You're definitely right, but even back there though, he was pretty passive. He just sort of sat there and looked around, and then you're right, he would talk. And
he was
obviously
subdued,
this is different than that.
But he had
There still seemed like something was missing there, though.
Yeah, he wasn't emotional. He wasn't, overly active, but he was still intellectually there in some capacity.
Okay, fair enough. All right, so now 315. These are the same numbers that were on the electrical outlet, though. Remember?
It started off with a 3, then it was the 15.
No, it was the 15 first, then it became a 3.
I'm sorry. Yeah, that's what I meant. It started with a 15, then it was a 3.
Right.
And that was the hotel room that he stayed in at the Great Northern Hotel.
Yeah.
In season 1 and 2,
so this key though is from the original.
Yes.
Right? So we see this. So this is a big deal, this key.
Yeah.
Right. Awesome. Who doesn't love that? So, okay. So she's like, Jade has to get this nice little joke. That's funny. Jade, all right. So off into the Jeep she goes, and she takes him Dougie Love. Apparently Dougie was just a Vegas guy, kept the women in Vegas very busy with their work. I'm sure there's men that just live in Vegas and bang hookers if they can.
And he was just full of nothing but compassion and love.
Yeah.
Which is the very thing that Evil Coop was lacking.
And she was full of nothing but Dougie.
Yeah, okay.
So then the car drives off. This car comes up. Classic goony looking tough guy. Was smarmy, scummy looking guy with the pinky ring, of course. He's looking for these are like investigators or something, right?
Yeah. So this is kind of strange. We don't know,
not even investigators per se, but they're investigating something. Right. They're looking for him.
We don't know what Dougie was up to before we were introduced to him. We don't know what kind of a person he was. I'm assuming that he was an innocent, naive, nice guy. But it seems, though, that someone is paying some shady-looking characters to look after him.
Yeah.
In a nefarious way.
Yes.
They want to bring about harm to him. They want to kill him.
Kind of a classic Vegas, like, oh, he's got some gambling debts. The bookies are after me. Like, maybe he's just sort of a Vegas...
and who do we know that has experience with the Lodge? That wants to kill people?
Don't ask me.
Philip Jeffries.
Oh, okay.
Perhaps he hired these guys to kill Dougie, knowing that if Dougie was killed, perhaps that would keep Cooper locked in the Lodge forever.
You're saying that the intention to kill Dougie is related to the whole big story, not that Dougie just is in some little trouble with Vegas goons?
No, I don't think the goons have any knowledge on why they're being hired to kill Dougie, but I think that the man who hired them... presumably Philip Jeffries knows full and well what he's doing.
Okay. But you're saying it's connected to the big story, not that it's just like he just pissed off some dudes in
I
Vegas.
believe so.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
And also they were staying, they were kind of doing their prostitution thing in an as of yet unfurnished, unpurchased house, which is why she said, Dougie, we've got to get out of this house.
Yeah, they left real quick. And by the way, this whole neighborhood it's just like one of those neighborhoods that was built during the housing boom, and so there's bank-owned, foreclosed. So all these houses are empty, basically.
Yeah.
Very few people live in this
and before we got to this point, they were looking at road signs. You didn't get a picture of it because it went by so quick, but it said Sycamore Street.
Yeah.
Which is symbolic because the portal that leads was it Glastonbury Grove in the Ghostwood Forest or something like that leads into the Lodge is surrounded by 12 young sycamore trees. Right. So there's a parallel between Sycamore Tree, Sycamore Street.
Yep. And speaking of Sycamore, Roger Moore died.
Yeah.
The world is now Roger Less.
That's true. And he looked at that as though he had some sort of vague recollection of it. He's looking at the key as though there's some sort of vague recollection.
Yes, and then he drops it or something.
It's almost as though he's grasping at straws, trying to get back pieces of him that he has forgotten.
Yes. Rifle Cox, by the way, that's the name of my OkCupid profile. Hit me up, ladies. Rifle Cox. Come on. Yeah, he's got this weird-ass gun, too, by the way.
It's kind of cool looking.
It's cool looking, yeah. It's interesting. So, but he pulls it out, and because he dropped the key, though, he is... not in the car. He doesn't see him.
Yeah, he's digging around on the floorboards trying to find the key.
Then he sits up.
By coincidence, protects him from this guy.
Yeah.
Because this
like,
guy...
hey, didn't have a key.
Yeah, he radioed back like, oh no, he's not in the car after all. He must still be in the house.
So they're like, oh, it must be in... Yeah. So this guy's like, all right, we'll go look. And then across the street is a junkie.
There's a kid looking out the window watching the guy go into the house.
Yeah. This woman screaming, 119! 119! And I... put it together. I'm pretty sure she's just alarmed. She's thinking 911.
But she's saying it backwards, which is a reoccurring theme in Twin Peaks.
Yes, for sure.
And she's wearing red, and there's a red balloon behind her, which could be representative of the Lodge. I don't know.
Yeah, or that movie, The Red Balloon, starring a red balloon. But she's got booze, she's got cigarettes.
Yeah, I didn't pick up on that. I was like 119. What is 119? You're like, no, that's that's 911 backwards.
Yeah,
and you're totally right.
Yep. Or add it together, and it's 9 plus 2, which is 11. Oh. 911, 11. Never forget.
11 is 1 plus 1 equals 2.
What's weird when people say 9/11 was an inside job? I'm like, all the videos I've seen, it looked like it happened outside. I don't know what you're talking about. So this lady's a junkie. She's got a gross table and gross skin and stuff, and she's probably having a hard time with life. I don't think we should make fun of her too much. But oh yeah, he plants a bomb on the car because they're here to kill him.
Is that a bomb or a tracking device?
It's a hockey puck with a light. I don't know what the hell's going on.
That doesn't look big enough to be an explosive, but I'm no
demolition
expert.
They were gonna shoot. I got the sense he wanted to kill him though, right?
They did want to kill him.
So
but he said, I think he says something like, I'm going to go wire his car, or I'm going to do something to his car, but I didn't get the impression that it meant blow up.
That could not, maybe, okay, maybe they're just going to track him then. Yeah, okay, fine. I don't know. So this little kid, poor boy, look, he's got crackers. That's his food. Saltines. That's luxury. This kid's got it made, man.
Even so crappy, the lamp is broken.
Busted lamp. That's also good.
And yet it's still being used because they don't have anything else.
Well, sure, why not? You can always get some glue. I love gluing stuff back together. It makes me feel like a man.
It's now both a container and a lamp.
Very much so. You can hide your weed in it. Yeah, so she gets a pill and she does a thing. She pours up little booze. They really take their time, and she just takes it. So that is not recommended to mix alcohol with pills unless you're looking for a fucking great time. Mm-hmm. Kid starts having some of his dinner or breakfast or lunch or whatever, probably all three. And I like that she lights it with that torchlight. Remember the first time you found one of those torch lighters? And you're like, whoa, oh my God, I'm so powerful.
I was still really impressed by those, and I went to the liquor store like a couple of weeks ago with a good friend Ryan.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shoot, look at them with those cool torch lighters. Like, would it be cool to buy one of those? He was like, yeah, if you smoke crack.
Well, they work on other things other than crack.
But I think there's a stigma about those. Like lighting a spoon or something.
Yeah, go take one camping. They're fucking awesome. I haven't been camping in a while. I'd like to, though. All right, so car pulls up. This is the busted up car. They're wondering what's going on. Oh yeah, this guy has a hard time.
This is where Evil Coop released his cream corn.
His cream corn. He's got that pile of Play-Doh in the car. But I bet it stinks gross. And he's like, oh no. And he goes, hey, there's something bad in this vehicle. We're gonna need to also bring us some more generic looking uniforms.
So this is
look at his tiny feet. This guy has tiny feet.
He does. But this kind of struck me as weird though, because we were set up to know that Evil Coop had this big plan that he's not going to get pulled back into the lodge. He's going to find the secretary. He's going to get the coordinates. He's going to put Chantel in position. He's going to do all these things, and yet he was powerless to do much of anything to prevent himself from being ripped back in.
Well, James, let me introduce you to my Jewish friend, Hubris. All
right?
right? I mean, Hubris, it will chop the tip of your dick off, but it'll also do it with a little too much confidence, and it'll get a little bit of the part that you don't want. I'm saying hubris. He thought he had more power than he really did. He was all confident because he got away with all his evil schemes the whole time, but he doesn't have control over the whole planet and the whole universe because he's just another Dougie. He's just as dumb as Dougie. He just happened to be evil.
Does that mean that I can delete all that stored knowledge about his plan from my brain so I can make room for more talking trees and electric brains and...
Sure. No, I don't know. I mean, I bet there'll be more to him though.
Okay.
Right? Like because he was more of an active player than Dougie. Mm-hmm. Dougie was just banging hotties in Vegas.
Okay.
Like every man's dream. Okay, so Twin Peaks. We've been here. This is a great place. What the hell's up with this little window here? What's that?
It looks like a broken window.
Oh, it's broke. I thought it was a graph.
Yeah. And I should mention something.
What are they putting, like stock market stuff up?
I mentioned this to you while we were watching the show, but remember I told you that one of the pillar of normalcy and rationality in the show was Sheriff Harry Truman.
Yeah. Harry Truman.
I know, great name. But apparently he did not elect to return for this series, so he's not in it. So in the very first episode they say he's sick or he's out fishing, depends on which one you're talking about. I don't think he's going to show up.
Okay. So
that means that our pillar of rationality in the Twin Peaks Sheriff Department is now Hawk.
Well, who is also pretty much a 62 IQ person, it seems like.
No, compared to Andy and Lucy, he's a Rhodes Scholar.
Right. Well, I just want to say that this is their self-destruct button.
Yeah.
Okay, so... Yeah, so this is him. No, he's not like a complete
Hawk
moron.
Is great.
Yeah, he's a nice... he listens to the log lady, but this is a fun joke. Do not disturb. Yeah. I like that. That's
and anyone who's not like a big fan of Twin Peaks, we are fans.
I'm not really a fan.
I'm a fan.
I'll say
but in the original series...
I like it because it's weird, but...
In the original series, there was kind of a running theme that whenever they would have a meeting in the conference room, there would always be donuts, there would always be pie, there would always be, coffee. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of just like a throwback.
I think boxed liquids are pretty fun. Boxed wine, boxed coffee, boxed diarrhea. I'm sorry. So we laid out everything. Yeah, these two are real dimwits, especially this guy. This guy's a real moron. Yeah. I mean, she's easily double his IQ, but they're both about as smart as my left toe.
So what did the log lady tell Hawk? something is missing. It relates to Cooper.
You need your heritage.
Your heritage will help you find it.
Yeah.
So they're like, he has them pull all the files to find out what is missing. And they're very stupidly saying, well, if it's missing,
yeah,
how it won't be
Well, he
here.
says that, though. He goes, if it's not here, then how do you know it's missing?
Yeah.
And then after about 10 minutes, he's like, this
is here.
It's like, David Lynch, just write a fucking story. Why do you have to fill it with these weird long pauses and stuff?
I thought this was hilarious.
I guess it's comedy, I suppose.
If you know the characters and you're finally getting to see them again after a long absence, it's more endearing than to me than it is to you, probably.
So it's like the slow kid went missing in your hometown, and now that he's back 25 years later, but he's just as slow, but just a little older. You're like, hey, all right, my buddy.
I miss these guys. They're funny.
Let's throw tennis balls and have... Yeah, okay, all right, fair enough.
And feeling bad for poor Hawk being the deputy sheriff now, having to babysit these morons.
They are real dummies, but I do like his hairdo, though. That looks fun. Do you think he blow dries that?
Probably.
He's got something about Mary going on there. I need to think out loud. Yeah, so, I mean, he's putting things together. He's definitely smarter than they are. Yeah. But this is... These people that really the smartest person we've seen in the entire show
is the hooker.
Is Jade,
the accountant.
She seemed like she was from the wrong world. She was like normal. She spoke English. She spoke rationally. She was like getting annoyed at the guy because he was an idiot. Like she was totally. She should be solving all these crimes. I bet she could figure it all out in about 2 minutes. She seemed totally fine.
Probably.
Yeah. Come on. I like Jade. I got a crush on Jade, James. I want to ask her to prom just like kids do to pop stars.
Okay.
All right. So, and then when I find it has something to do with my heritage. And then she goes, "You're an Indian."
Yes. Thank you, Lucy.
Yes, Lucy. Yes,
That's hilarious.
And apparently, oh look, his name is Hawk Hill, right?
Hank Hill
or Mill? T
Does
Hill.
he sell propane and propane accessories?
But why is that a T? Mill? That's not an H. It's hard to see it. Kind of hard to tell. T Hill? Phil?
No.
He's had his fill. Okay, so that's what I'm going to find out what's missing. And then the bunnies. This is an evidence because it's on an evidence bag. Mm-hmm. There's some pens that might be a Bible or just a booklet of papers. Usually papers are inside books. And she freaks out. She goes, "Oh no!" And this whole, "Are you okay, Punky?" This whole scene just really made me angry, to be honest.
I loved it.
So she realized that she had eaten the bunny. That was the big clue. Was that she ate.
And then Hawk goes on like saying, "You ate evidence, Lucy?" And she was like, "Yeah, I had to because..." And she goes into this whole diatribe how she believes that the indigenous people would eat chocolate to, dispel gas, but she doesn't want to even talk about that in front of Andy, who's her husband or her
I think
lover.
You're getting ahead a little. Yeah, we got some of the gas.
But then it gets,
I'm not going to miss a fart joke. So yeah, you ate the evidence, but and I never did it again. And she's saying I'll never do it again. I know it's all intentional. I know it's not an accident that they're like this. It's just it's fucking enraging.
Well, okay, let's get through it then.
Okay, no, I'm happy to talk about it. I just I have mixed feelings about it. A part of me appreciates the cojones it takes to just put this crap out there and then to get such praise for it. It's inspiring because I'm like, hey, I can come up with fucking bullshit and put it out there if it's that. I realize
it's not the dialogue. It's that it's coming from these characters.
Yeah, and it's a tone, it's a style.
It's basically a love letter back to the fans saying, "Welcome back to Twin Peaks."
Right. And on the other hand, I have this negative reaction. On the other side of that, though, is sort of the artist in me that really thinks that any form of expression, any form of unique expression especially, is worth celebrating. I think it's really cool that humans have this in them, this need to communicate, this need to tell stories. And in a lot of ways, film, video, I mean, I'm a professional video editor. I'd love to be a film editor. That'd be amazing. Anyway, I'm getting fucking tangents here. I'd rather create comedy television shows. But all of that like makes my soul sing in a way. Like, oh, wonderful! This is living art. This is like a film is sort of like a moving painting. Duh. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's sort of. But and this is an artist, David Lynch, doing some crazy shit with his art, and I just don't understand it. Like half the time I go to the art museum, and I'm just like, oh, the fuck that thing.
That's the beauty of Lynch. You're
there's
not really
some purple,
supposed
there's
to
some blue.
understand
What am I supposed to say here? Just show me a statue of a knight in shining armor. I can get a boner for that. All right, so she had a bubble of gas, which I thought was a funny way of saying she had to fart.
And she served sometimes chocolate, which she loves.
Yeah. Does chocolate make you fart? Is that a thing?
No, she's saying that chocolate can be used as a remedy against gas.
Oh yeah, that's right. I didn't know that was a thing either.
And then she has the audacity to say indigenous people would do this. Is that true, Hawk?
Is this spirit medicine based? Like, do you Indians, do you eat chocolate to
He's there to solve a crime, to solve a mystery.
Yeah.
And they're asking him about chocolate and farts.
Which is funny.
It's amazing.
Yeah. And he takes it seriously. And this guy, of course, he just wants to make her happy. A Brennan. Look, it says T Hill, man.
Okay.
What the hell is Hawk Hill? Come on, there's got to be more to that. All right, so it's not about the bunny. Is it about the bunny?
He even questions himself. He goes, "No,
it's not about the bunny." But that whole scene took about 400 hours.
I would watch it 1,000 times.
Okay, so speaking of wasting time, this scene here, we got this elaborate Rube Goldberg.
This is Dr. Jacoby again.
Yep.
Mr. 3D glasses.
So you recognize these are the shovels from the delivery that he had earlier.
Mm-hmm.
So there's this mask on, and you don't really need to gas up or gear up that much for spray paint. Well, you probably should wear some protection. Maybe not breathing in gold spray paint aerosol is not the best thing for you.
And rather than stand up and simply do this like a normal person would, he remains stationary and has this Rube Goldberg device. It's not Rube Goldberg, but,
I know, but it
has this weird mechanical contraption.
Yes, this goofy. Oh, look at all the paint back here, though. He's done this before. He's got an observation chair. That's probably where he sits to watch it dry. You know. But yeah, so this thing moves back and forth. But they fucking showed him painting each one.
And then he finally finishes and then double taps a pedal and rotates them around to get to the other side.
You got to the other side. I mean, it's a nice little system. Yeah, double taps it. The shovels are looking good, but this took a long time.
Yeah.
So, all right. So this does explain a little, though. When his shovels were delivered, we're like, what the fuck? He's got a shovel right there. What's he doing with shovels? Well, he must be...
Does he sell them for like groundbreaking ceremonies?
Well, so, I mean, they do use golden shovels for groundbreaking ceremonies. Yeah. I mean... Yeah, maybe that's where they're heading with this. He could be doing some kind of sculpture, I guess. Maybe he's going to glue them all together or something.
You think they're going to use one at Trump's funeral?
yeah, I hope so. And don't get me started.
No, I don't wish death on Trump. I'm just saying.
No.
Trump loves gold.
Yes.
And he's 70 plus. So
yes, he's got that gaudy gold.
Yeah.
One of the best descriptions is somebody said he's like what a hobo thinks a billionaire is like.
Yeah, nothing political intended. Moving along.
Yeah, fuck Trump. He's a piece of shit. All right, so he's going to hurt a lot of people. He's hurting. He's literally hurt. Many people are going to die. So, okay, back to the thing.
Focus on Jade.
Yes, so I love Jade. Jade, you want to go to prom with me? I'll give you a gold shovel. All right, so she's like helping him. She doesn't have to be this nice to this weirdo. You know, I mean,
and we don't really know if if this is the first time she's met him or if he's a reoccurring customer.
I got the sense that she knew him, but it's hard to say. Maybe she's just comfortable with anybody. But I mean, so she's like, he might have had a stroke. She's not going to help him all the way. She gives him some money, says go in there and make a phone call. They'll help you out.
But she says you can go out now.
Yeah.
And he has this flash of recognition from that phrase when Laura Palmer says it to her.
Yes.
Says it to him.
To him, right.
So it means that there is some part of him that's still there, buried deep below.
Yeah, it's trying to reemerge, or needs to have the proper inputs rediscovered or something,
right?
Or placed back into the right places. Like something's missing. So, she gets him out of the car. He doesn't seem to understand anything. He just sort of goes along with whatever, and off he goes. She's just like, ugh, Jesus, this guy. Gosh, I can't wait to go bang someone that's not such a weirdo. I did like this though. This was funny. I did appreciate that he just sort of walks in and the spinning door thing just bonks him.
Yeah, it stops and then pushes him and then stops and then pushes him.
Yeah, and the guard's like, oh great, here comes another one. But then he does make it through there. So, all right, the Silver Mustang Casino. Okay,
yep.
I'm a slow reader.
Now, if you go back to the dice on the floor, what number is it showing?
Oh, good. Okay.
Lucky number 7.
What? Oh, 2 and 5. Yeah, 2. I was reading like 1 and 3. There's 4. We got 1 and whatever that one is.
And we know that the card that Evil Cooper had was an ace of spades, but that doesn't really tell us anything.
There's the spades right there. Oh my god. And an M is like an upside down W.
Illuminati confirmed.
Oh my god. Totally. Michael Jackson is still alive. All right. So there he goes. Just wanders in. Call for help. But he can only, like James said, he can only repeat the last thing that was said to him. But this guy needs authority. He needs hey, well, we're going to take him. Yeah. Have a psychiatric doctor evaluation.
They probably think he's just some drunk businessman stumbling in, All they care about is getting his money, regardless of how little he has.
So he helps and he goes, you're going to need some change. He tells him on the phone, he goes, but you got to get change. So he goes over here. I like that he called it some change. Some change. And she's gonna play any games, honey. Look at that long ropey arm of hers. She's been making change for a long time. And yeah, so coins rattle. She gives him a little cup. That's good. Go off and have fun. Go make some. Go have 20 minutes fun. James, now you've never done gambling.
I've never done this. No.
Not even no gambling ever. No
None.
slot machines at the airport or something.
Zero.
No bus stops.
Nope.
They're fucking waste of time and money, and it's weird. You just feel like a rat in a maze. You feel like a weird psychological experiment's happening. But it's weirdly fun because there's that random chance. That's what random reward is. It's actually a big part with addiction too, like video game addiction or gambling addiction. Let's say it's the randomness factor really fucks with your psychology.
It's when you put $50 into it and you're like, well, I can't walk away now. I'm about to win. The odds are in my favor. And then when you win again, it's like, well, how do I know the next poll is not going to be another win? I can't just quit now. Right. And before you know it, you're destitute and broke.
And it's screwed. And you made a whole bunch of horrible choices. But they did studies with rats and randomness, like when they get rewards, like a piece of cheese or whatever, classic. But when the rewards are predictable for the rats, they don't have the same psychological reaction. When the rewards are randomized, the rats lose their minds. They go nuts. They become addicted. They get addictive behavior.
But there's also a test with rats where they're given either a choice for a lever that would give them food and a lever that would increase dopamine to their brain. And the joy of winning at here would be a dopamine release, and the rats, when given the choice, would consistently hit the dopamine and not the food, and they would starve to death.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, and that's what gambling does in some ways.
Yeah.
I mean, some people don't have the coping skills, or they're just wired in a way where they can't handle it. It's very real, though. I mean, I knew a guy that went off the deep end with gambling. But anyway, point is, blackjack is a little bit better, but it all seems kind of fucking stupid. I'm glad I don't have that gene, because it's like, I go to a casino, I'm like, fuck this shit. What the hell are we doing? Let's go buy a video game.
Okay, so
so
he observes this man playing a slot machine.
Yep.
And as the man wins, he yells.
Wait, no. Well, the man doesn't win.
Well, as he tries, yes, he does. He says, hello.
Oh, he says hello. Okay.
Yes, which is what Agent Cooper observes and learns.
Yeah, so this is his model for behavior. Yeah, I missed that. Wow, that's how I thought he was supposed to make a phone call.
No.
Hello. I'm really dumb. I'm super stupid. Okay, so he sees it. Then now we have this weird hovery thing.
It's like a fire, like a flame floating that shows the floor of the waiting room and the curtains from the waiting room lodge.
Yes, some kind of...
And it's like it's guiding him over to this machine.
Right, saying, come over here. So he does. So he goes, oh, okay. He follows it over there, and he puts a coin in, and all of a sudden...
And he mimics what he saw the other guy do.
Mm-hmm, yep. And
says...
Blaring,
and then he says, hello!
Yeah, he does that, and the coins just come spraying out.
But he doesn't know to take them.
Yeah.
He simply walks away.
It doesn't seem like that's what he's supposed to do. So beep, beep, beep. Everybody looks around. Wow, good. Look at that guy. You get pissed off when someone wins a jackpot near you. And I have not even done a lot of gambling. I've maybe been like 10
before we go
15 times.
Before we go any further, there's something I want to tell you that's going to blow your mind.
Blow my mind.
Okay, so again, at the beginning of the episode, the woman with no eyes who's pulling the lever on the side of the big metallic thing. Yep. Clearly, that seems to me to be a reference to the slot machines, which you picked up on.
Yeah.
Other thing that you would not have picked up on, which I would never have picked up on, I went to Reddit briefly, and I saw a person on Reddit who was a sound engineer. And he had like one of those posts that was like 6 paragraphs long, but he was like, you know that phonograph that's playing in episode 1 is making those weird sounds that are all distorted. He took that sample file and he ran it through a bunch of filters, low, high passes, frequency manipulators, and so forth, stripped it down, and then compared it against what he thought was Cooper saying hello.
Okay.
But it wasn't Cooper saying hello. When he recorded Cooper saying hello, he also mistakenly pulled in the sound of the lever being pulled down.
Okay.
And that waveform matched perfectly with the waveform of the enhanced audio from the phonograph. It was the mechanical sound of the lever being pulled at the casino that was playing on a loop through the phonograph in the original episode.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
What does that mean? I don't know. Were we ever supposed to know that or figure that out? Probably not, but it's pretty cool.
Maybe. I mean, okay, you could either take an interpretive, like, okay, so that means that it's all about the randomness of life, the random chance that you're going to win, the random chance that you're going to lose, the overwhelming likelihood that you're probably not going to win, and I could take a bunch of gambling metaphors or casino metaphors. Or maybe they were filming and they had a bunch of sound and they needed to come up with some sort of mechanical noise, and they're like, oh, what are, like, their sound guys are like, okay, what fucking like mechanical noises. Oh, we got a bunch of casino sounds. We got a bunch of coins clinking. We got a bunch of, oh yeah, we remember we took a few takes of the handle going down, or they had a big dump of audio and they just went through it and scrubbed out someone,
There's about a 99% chance that's what happened.
No.
But the Lynchian theory people are always going to want to believe the more intricate solution.
Yeah, for sure. And why not? That's the more interesting
It's
experience.
fun,
That's
yeah.
why conspiracy theories are nice, because they give you, not that this is a conspiracy theory, I'm not saying that, but like it gives you a sense of explanation.
Mm-hmm.
A world filled with vagary, and you often don't have all the answers and you lack most of the information to, but if you do have an explanation you can come up with,
Mm-hmm.
oh, well, now I feel a sense of comfort. Same thing with religion.
Okay.
So, okay.
Moving on.
Then it goes, boom.
So what is the name of this particular machine?
Martini Madness.
Martini Madness.
It's about a martini that wound up in a psych ward, and its family won't visit it because it's too overwhelmed by all the pain it's been
So
through.
he knows that one's going to be a winner because the lodge is telling him so.
Yeah. I don't even think he's thinking about it being a winner. He's just following.
No, he doesn't care. He
Yeah.
doesn't. The concept of winning and losing is foreign to him at this moment.
Yeah, for him, it's nothing there. I know it's we're in a casino, but 888. Oh my god.
Yeah, he's just a dog following a hot dog.
Yeah. Yeah. He sees tennis balls wherever he looks. So yeah, Martini Madness we go, and there's this woman is actually going to be a character here. Look at that hair. Wouldn't you just love to run your rake through that?
Yeah, she's a territorial monster.
Pretty classic Las Vegas lady. No, so she looks at him over there.
American Dream.
So 1 coin and off we go. He goes boom boom boom.
Hello.
Yeah, it wins. Didn't I not get the hellos? It was funny. You go, hello. So the lady comes over and she's like, "Boy, you really won 2 in a row. 28 grand, man. That's more than all these quarters." Mm-hmm. But pick up the quarters. By the way, psychology of gaming, like every noise is completely like the sound of the quarters hitting the tray. It's like a really Pavlovian. So he doesn't seem to think too much about it at all. He just sees the other one. He points at it, and she flips. So she kind of
flips him the bird.
A little bit of a hound, like a junkyard dog, just sort of get the fuck away from me, boy. She sort of snarls.
I think she interprets it as though he's asking if he can use the one next to her, and she hates him because he's winning a lot. And
Yeah.
she's been spending her time there losing all day long.
And it's annoying when other people win.
Yeah.
When you're gambling somewhere. So yes. Yeah,
she contemplates stealing the quarters that he leaves behind, but then she remembers being a regular at the casino that there's cameras everywhere and they'll catch her.
I guess so, but what happens if a guy walks away from his thing?
It's still legally his, I think.
Really?
Yeah, I think they'll bust you if you try and take it.
I think at a certain point it becomes.
That's why they put a security guard next to it.
Well, eventually, especially with the jackpot, they usually look for the guy or look for the winner, and it's usually a check at a certain point. But I still think like you walk away from like 10 coins in there, and at a certain point it's just money for anybody.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm
not sure how that works.
Yeah, so there's the camera. Okay, boom, machine's ringing. We got to get through this here. Okay, another thing here. He sees it and he heads off to it.
Do you see any like names of the machines that might be clues to something?
Dive, which is what Dougie was doing.
Okay,
to
nothing
Jade.
there.
Yeah, no, I don't know. This guy's bald. He's blowing some smoke. That's a big gust of smoke, by the way. Jeez, look at that.
I think he vapes.
Yeah, I think he mega vapes. That thing's huge. So this guy, that's a security guard. He goes, but he just wanders off. He doesn't hang around at all, and they're even looking for him. Yeah. Hello. That's funny. 777s, yes, boom, boom, and coins go spraying all over the place. The old lady, she kind of looks around. She gives a thing, and
so she goes to the machine that he was pointing to before because she knows that there's no way that he's winning that often by coincidence.
I mean, what's the chances of winning that Space Ranger or American
Dream?
American Dream. All right, yeah. Slots. American Slots.
Oh, American Slots. The other one was American Dreams, but that one's Slots.
So he wins. These guys are like, oh man, geez, I wish I was an old one with fucked up hair, just like a corpse in a windstorm. Woohoo! Yeah, baby! She did it, man. This is her dream come true. I would be pretty thrilled too, by the way.
She kind of looks like the guy who drinks from the wrong grail at the end of Indiana Jones in The Last Crusade.
Yeah, she kind of does. All right, and then cut to another shot. This is what town are we in there?
We are
Houston?
at FBI headquarters in city
Denver?
that I don't recognize.
I'm guessing.
Is it Chicago? You're from
That's not
Chicago.
I'm pretty. No, I'm quite certain.
It wasn't a statue.
Oh, Philadelphia, maybe.
Oh, that could be it. Yeah.
Because isn't this Paul? We sound so ignorant right now. But what the fuck? Who the hell knows all the skylines?
It's a building. I grew up in the deep south. We didn't have them there tall buildings or sorts.
Yeah, the tallest buildings you had around were trees.
Or silos.
Yeah, silos.
And church steeples.
Oh yeah, of course. Don't
Both of
build
which
it.
are equally as useful.
Yeah, you're both for storing.
Actually, no. A silo will store grain.
The style will store grain.
Much more useful.
As Ben Carson during the campaign said, the pyramids were for grain.
We have pyramids for that too.
Grain storage, yeah. Otherwise, the grain goes bad. Grain, get out of here. Okay, so FBI meeting with our Lord and Captain, creator of all good and evil. Agent Cole. It's me. David Lynch with surprisingly good hair for an old man. Way better than this young fella. Miguel Ferrero.
Who sadly passed away in January of 2017.
What did he die of?
Hair loss.
Oh, man, I'm doomed. Good thing I got a big storage on my back.
No, but he did. I don't know what he died of, but it bummed me out because I knew that Twin Peaks was coming back at the time. I knew he was part of it, and...
He was the coke-snorting douchebag in RoboCop.
Yeah, he was in a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
He was in Stephen King's Night Flyer as well.
Yeah, no, the guy worked.
He's been around, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's what's sad, man.
And he does look surprisingly thin in this role.
Really? He looks like he's just
when he's standing up, you'll notice.
Oh, okay, all right. James is always looking for evidence that people are dying.
Yes.
Hilarious. Okay, so
So this seems to be like an unimportant, non-connected type of introduction thing to get us back to the FBI, where they're talking about a killer, and he left clues to the identity of who he is.
And then they take their time.
And it's all these like random objects.
David Lynch loves hot women.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't blame him. I like hot women too. I'm a fan myself. But he really does this whole like, every woman is pretty gorgeous in this show. I mean, other than the old lady at the casino. No offense, old lady. I'm sure you're a babe in the 1920s. But she's. I mean, he cast. I'm not. It's not a judgment, but you know, he's biased towards quite attractive women. And hey, who can blame him? Also, look at his sexy pliers. These are some hot fucking pliers. Wow, baby. No, I'm just. So more hot women pictures, and they're set up on this business card holder thing here. That is not a hot woman.
You think that's a picture of him as a kid?
Probably.
Maybe.
I don't know. It looks pretty.
It looks like it belongs in like a salt bottle or something.
Yeah, it looks like it belongs in a evidence locker, which is I guess kind of what it is. And then there's a gun here,
an Uzi or something. I don't know guns.
I think it's an Uzi with a silencer. Yeah. And then a jar of beans.
Beans, yeah.
I think. Castor, maybe you could make poison out of. You could make a ricin poison out of beans or something like that.
It's almost like they were just kind of going around saying, "What do you have to put on the table?"
Yeah. Everybody guess how many beans are in this jar.
What's in the break room? We need a prop.
Winner gets a jar of beans. But you have to cook it so that I can snort it up my gross old man lips that are shiny and slippery at all times.
In the middle is a human thumb. Whose thumb? I won't tell.
I found it in Tahiti on the body of a man. He didn't want me to have it. And then the guy comes with no. Okay, so, all right. Well, you can all get to work on this. He actually speaks pretty quickly, by the way. I was a little surprised.
But and we find out what happened to poor Sam and Teresa.
Yeah, so he tells this woman here to stay and explain what's going on in New York, right? And so she just...
Well, how horrific.
They had their heads excavated.
I mean, I
Tracy,
thought...
not Teresa. Tracy.
Oh, I meant Tracy, yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's almost as though I was thinking they were just going to have, like, cuts in their faces or something like that. But holy crap.
No, they look like Easter bunnies. You know, like the chocolate. Like hollow. And, that's... I like that he's still holding on to her, though. That never came loose. That's true love right there. That's real true love. They had a nice little makeout sesh right before they went. They don't even know who owns the place, so we don't know who the billionaire might be. Apparently
and the guards all disappeared.
24/7.
As they know.
Yeah. Look at him. Oh yeah. So he's got is he in real life have hearing issues?
No. That's the character that he plays. Okay. That's why he speaks
even in
so
the
loudly.
Original he had.
In the original, he played a character with a hearing aid who spoke very loudly.
And he was okay, fair enough.
I don't think he has hearing problems in reality.
Yeah, you never know. Okay, so only the victims: Sam Colby, Tracy Greer. I was getting Colby cheese. That was a stupid joke. The word's right there. So yeah, good shot. That's great. Is that his lips? That's his mouth?
Yeah, and that's sort of like it seems
that's her eye.
It went for the brain, whatever the heck it was.
Yeah. Jeez, it's fucked up. It really did. Showing various angles of this glass box. She said there's all these data cards in there. Once in a while, they show some
this kind of threw me for a loop, though, because I would assume that whoever was in possession of this property, who was conducting the experiment, would have cleaned this up and kept it under wraps.
Yeah, it seems pretty top secret, doesn't it?
Yeah, but now all of a sudden the FBI is all over it.
Right, and they have the data. They have the SD cards. Yeah, that's weird.
There's one line I really hope you got.
Not that one, obviously. There.
Yes, David
yeah.
Lynch himself. What the hell?
Yeah, so she says this.
Hearing him finally say it is so funny to me.
What the hell?
Like, he knows. That's what we've been saying all along.
He knows how fucking crazy all this shit
Yeah.
is. So is this... I think this is the same shape as Cooper. Because he had his arms in this sort of...
Why would Cooper suck their brains out?
Well, I'm not saying Cooper did it. I'm just saying this whatever this is, floated up and seems to be in what was obviously they chose this frame for a reason. Seems to be in the same position as where Cooper was when he was floating around that we did in the last one.
You think it was Bob coming out? It
Could
could have been Bob.
It could be anybody too. I mean, maybe everybody comes out and keeps their arms back like that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I thought it looked a little...
Oh my God, it's Laura Palmer. Sometimes my arms bend back.
Yeah. Well, so didn't somebody explain the arms bending back thing?
Yeah, they said that it was essentially the position she was in when she was being murdered.
Oh, okay.
Which is really creepy.
Yeah, that is creepy. We get so much good information from the comments. It's awesome. So the other camera saw nothing. I don't know who says that. Forensics. I was just going to do that. The bodies were violently
She says
mutilated.
that.
That's how she sounds. That's her
Oh,
voice.
okay.
Yeah, no. But violently mutilated, completely clean, as opposed to non-violently mutilated. Completely clean on your phone. It's Cooper. What's that?
So they haven't heard from Cooper in 25 years.
Yeah. Oh, right. Somebody comes in and tells him. He's like, huh? What? Look at that surprise face. It's funny. So yeah, they're kind of shocked. And even this part where he ran in, he looked kind of excited. So this is his office?
Yeah, with a nuclear bomb going off behind his desk.
Gordon Cole?
Yep, Gordon Cole.
Nuclear bomb. That's such a comforting photo, huh? Red phone. That's a little over the
sort
top.
Of like the presidential emergency phone.
The president or Batman. Come on.
Yeah.
Grow up. So this is Cole, and he goes in there. Where? Are you sure it's him?
So I'm guessing this is the casino calling him, saying that he's in trouble because they probably have him in a locker, or not a locker.
Or they had ID.
In a
detention area.
Yes, a detention area because they assume that he must be cheating.
Yeah, but would they wouldn't just call this guy for a cheater. They found out that he's connected to...
Well, yeah, they would find out that he was FBI, and they would call the FBI to say,
Yeah.
why is your guy here cheating in our casino?
If he had ID or something, yeah.
Yeah.
But he's acting like a real weirdo. They're probably like, boy, something's going on with this dude. Call his boss. So he says, we're going to go. Now, this dude here, by the way, I think this is like a famous gangster. I'm pretty sure this is like...
You know, I was looking at it trying to see if I could place him, but I don't recognize
Yeah, let us know in the comments. I feel like it's like not Billy the Kid or something, but it's like a really famous...
Billy the Kid's way older than that.
I know. But it's like a really famous early gangster.
John Derringer.
I don't know.
I'm just making crap up.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I vaguely recognize that. I could be completely wrong. It's my...
Dillinger is what I meant, not
Derringer, whatever. Yeah, all right, that works. But yeah, I think it's some famous guy. Okay, whatever. So as happy... Albert didn't seem too happy about it, by the way. He goes... So what does he got in his... Is that like a camera or a...
I'm assuming it's his badge.
Audio? No.
Maybe when he turns around, I can see it. I wasn't really paying much attention to it.
Here, we'll see it in this shot. I'm going to back up a little there. Oh, it's not a good
Okay,
shot.
so his badge is on the right-hand side, and he's got something on the left.
Oh, that's not a badge. They don't...
No, the badge is on the other side. Oh, I mean, his card is what I meant.
It's FBI thing. Okay, well, whatever.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that is.
Well, maybe somebody knows what that is. Okay, so... Naksheba goes, it's good you want to hurry. I like that he doesn't quite see it.
He's flying it down.
Yeah, and Tammy, you're coming with... So we know what's going to happen now. Strange to be serious about a truckload of volume. She's like, yeah, we could really go for that. And then we have a band scene. They just needed to fill the hour with some more stuff that means nothing. And so
ended the same way as it did the last time with the Bang Bang Bar, whatever it's called.
The bar, the Bang Bang Bar. And credits.
Drugged out mother, played by Haley Gates.
Haley Gates, way to go. Miguel Ferrero. Okay, whatever. R.I.P. buddy. So yeah, that was it. Oh, wait a minute.
Why did you bring her back?
Oh, you know what it is?
What are you doing?
No, hold on. It's because I blocked them out. The titty shots I blocked out. So what happens is, hold on, I'll explain it. So we got more, by the way, everybody.
You saving a little something for yourself at the end?
No, I put the black boxes on them for fun.
Oh my God.
I did that one.
Jesus. How is that any better?
Exactly. That's my point. But, no, okay, the reason... So we have Windows open. We have a big stack of, 600 screenshots. And when I do the black boxes, and after you save it out of Photoshop, it just puts it at the bottom of the stack. And then you can here watch. If I hit Control R,
Wait a minute.
It just reloaded it all. So that's why we got a nice little bonus boobs at the end there, everybody.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing?
I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Who is credited as Wise Guy?
Lady Slot Addict, Josh McDermott.
Do you recognize that name?
The guy from the No Country for Old Men.
No, it's freaking Eugene from The Walking Dead. How did I miss him?
Wait. Oh yeah, I thought that might have been him.
Where did he show up?
He was the wise guy. I don't know.
But where? How would I love Eugene. How would I not see him?
That's Eugene from The Walking Dead.
Yes.
Yeah.
Unless it's someone else with the same name, it's possible.
I don't know. I don't even know who that was.
You know, Hawk's real name is Michael Horse, which is really cool.
That's a good name.
Yeah.
Cool. Sawyer Shipman, little boy. Okay. For some reason, and I know it sounds like I'm just making this. I don't know why, but what would I benefit from? But I do. There was one little moment where I was like, oh, I think that might be Eugene, but I didn't. It just seemed so vague because he's kind of a generic-looking guy. Wise guy. Okay, yeah, this is the moment. I remember this, and yeah, I remember thinking
that's absolutely him.
But I didn't think that's Eugene. I thought that guy looks a lot like Eugene.
Yeah.
But it was such a fleeting thought because this whole scene I was so riveted.
You know what this makes me a little bit afraid of, though?
What?
Actually, I'm not that afraid, because I was thinking that if he was a reoccurring character, that could mean that he's going to die in The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, he's just a little bit guy. He's a one-time show.
Just a brown-haired casino dude. Yeah. There you go. All right. Well, good. We got that figured out. All right. So, James, quick review. Did you like this episode? Are you feeling okay about the series?
I feel like I need to go to rehab after watching it.
It was very druggy. We got to get some weed and watch this. This is a good show for pot, man. I'm not a big pothead, but I wish I was, and I would totally like. This is the kind of show that would make me go, "Oh."
I think we're trying really
hard.
This
is even better than Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah. So all I want out of this episode is for someone to kind of explain to me what the full extent, or link me to some sort of resource that will accurately describe what the deal is with that ring. Because I feel like there's a lot to it. Firewalk with Me was all about it. I'm still trying to find a copy of the full thing to watch. I've been reading about it. I've been watching clips and stuff like that. I want to see the whole thing, but I feel like I need to in order to understand what's going on there.
Okay, so the ring is a big mystery to you. The woman at the beginning was the weirdest part for this whole episode for me. Although
the
plenty
melty eyes woman.
Yeah, the melty crazy eyes lady, and then she springs off into space. And like at least the guys like Dougie and the other guy got and Bobbleganger got sucked back into wherever they came from, and now Cooper's out. I think we'll see Bobbleganger again. Dougie doesn't seem to be around anymore. He's just a gold ball now. He's just going to be turned into a BB. And I don't know. This episode wasn't utterly confusing.
Well,
now that we've talked it out a little bit,
it was a bit random.
There's some nutty shit going on for sure, but I don't know. I'm curious about the next one. So all right, so we're gonna find out what happens. With Cooper. They're gonna get Cooper back. They're gonna do some stuff. Probably. I assume Cooper's not gonna stay this weird dimwit wandering around, barely able to function. Like he's gonna become a person soon, right?
I hope so. I miss the Cooper that I used to know, so I want him back.
Yeah.
But did you read the comments where? Did you know that wasn't Hodor?
No, yeah, I knew that wasn't Hodor.
I thought that was Hodor.
No, he just looked like a big old head.
Looked like Hodor to me.
Yeah,
but clearly it wasn't him.
Right. No, yeah, I knew that wasn't Hodor. Were people mad that we called that guy Hodor?
No. Oh. I'm just mad that I didn't realize. I looked right at him and was like, that looks a lot like him.
Oh, you just assumed it was.
I assumed it was. I was like, that's pretty cool.
No, I knew it wasn't. He just looked
but he's actually a character that was on the show way back in the day in the original 2 seasons who got killed off, but now he's coming back as someone just like a background guy.
That must be nice, and you've had like, I was in Twin Peaks, it's 1993, and you're feeling well full of yourself, and then like 25 years go by, you're like, oh, we're hoping to get that phone call. Yeah. Ring, ring, hey. Hello, it's me, David Lynch. Yeah, so cool. I want to thank everybody for watching. If you're still with us, thank you so much for your attention. We appreciate every like and every subscription. Some people I know aren't fans of us, but that's inevitable. We're kind of doing a comedy thing here, and comedy is very subjective, so it's not going to work for everybody. That's totally understandable, so I get it. It's just what confuses me I hate to say haters, I don't mean the haters, but like, why bother saying something negative? Just go do something else. It's so weird. That's the impulse I never understand. It's the same impulse like a dog has to just bark. Like, rah, 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 rah. I just like have to say something because I have an emotion I don't quite understand that I need to let out with vocalizations in the form of typing.
So I didn't get a chance to watch the full extent of the last episode, but did you put a picture up of the one-armed man to show that he was really one-armed?
Not that shot of the bathing suit, but I found a shot
bathing suit. He's wearing a towel.
Same
out of the shower.
I bathed in a towel. Yes, I did include that in the last one, the one.
Cool.
But it was a shot of him in a t-shirt, and it was pretty clearly he was missing an arm. Hard to hide an arm in just a t-shirt. So, but yeah, cool. All right, well, there it is, everybody. Let us know in the comments what you thought, and consider donating to our Patreon or supporting us financially. That would be great. We don't have a link yet because we're terrible at YouTube. We're missing out. But some people have offered, and we're like, all right, fine, we're going to do one. So there you go. Look for it, and keep watching, keep commenting, and keep it up. Keep loving everybody. Just love. James, I love you, man. Even more than that, I love McDonald's.
American Girl.
Great answer.